1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Hey guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, this is Friday, November 22nd, 2019. Hope you enjoyed the Women's Forum, ladies, and looking forward to church. All of us are Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, Sunday, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Streams on YouTube, Periscope, D Live, Mixer, Twitch, Facebook even, facebook.com/rebuildingtheman. If you don't have a Facebook account, just make one just to follow Bond Rebuilding the Man Facebook page and the Jesse Lee Peterson Show and Jesse Lee Peterson and the Fallen State and the Hake Report. So, live in the fourth hour of Jesse Lee Peterson's stream, thank you, Jesse, on Jesse's YouTube, Jesse's D Live, Jesse's Mixer, and Jesse's Periscope. Hey, guys. So, I want to react a little bit to my interview with Brendio EEE, who came on the Hake Report yesterday. He was an incel, incel meaning involuntary celibate, revolves his key interest or main interest that he's known for around lack of relationship with women. And I wish I'd thought of some questions that I didn't ask him. So I'm going to ask him here. It may not be fair to ask him here when he's not here, but it's still fair to ask them because it's a beneficial question to ask. And I'm going to take some calls about them. Hot Computer Smell and Chris from Arizona and maybe others. And I want to talk about, if I can't get a chance to talk about the Groypers. I want to get to all your calls too. The Groypers, some of them are misconstruing Jesse's comments. Jesse Lee Peterson is giving constructive criticism. And maybe some of you think, and maybe rightly so, I don't know, that it's ill-informed because these are mostly open Q&As. But it's revealing something about a lot of them, at least in the comment sections, right? Interesting. Nick Fuentes seems to be handling it with class. That's good. And then I looked into this other YouTuber who criticized Jesse and a moderator, very messy, based on a tip from Dawning Armor, who called into my show, gave me a tip about it. And last but not least, I looked into something called the 14 words, which I had heard them before. It's a pro-white slogan or motto or creed or statement. And those 14 words are, go back one. Those 14 words are, we must secure the existence of our people and a future for white children. And I never really saw the harm in those 14 words, right? But they say that it's white supremacist or something like that, which those 14 words themselves are not. But I looked into the man who coined them. A white man, died in 2007, and I found out some interesting information. Assuming the information is true, I got it from Wikipedia, which is far left, and the ADL, which is extreme far left, but I think the information may be factual. So I just have some interesting information. It kind of reminds me of what Jesse Lee Peterson wrote about regarding many individuals, mostly black, some white, in his book, The Antidote, Healing America from the Poison of Hate, Blame, and Victimhood, where he talked about the family lives of some of these influential historical figures and some of people who are still alive. Very interesting. And, you know, these thugs that got themselves killed too, like the Trayvon Martin, Michael Brown. He had some interesting information about the family lives of those people. I recommend that book. It's very interesting. You learn some stuff about people. Makes you understand them, including like Obama and Louis Farrakhan, and I think Al Sharpton, and I think Jesse Jackson a little, and Muhammad Ali and Malcolm X and a bunch of others. Eminem, Tukey Williams, I think, a little bit, and also that Charles Manson is an interesting book. But first, let me get to some calls. Hot Computer Smell out of Virginia. Hot Computer Smell, how are you?
Hi, Hake. How's it going?
Going fine. Nice
Well,
to hear from you again.
Well, thank you. So, of course, I'm not going to say of course, but Jesse Lee Peterson, I watch his show, or I listen to it during work, so I'm not sure if anyone called about this.
Okay.
But yesterday, when you had Derek on and Donning Armour called, he made an excellent point when he talked about how, like, incels will look toward each other for support when they're all having the same problem. So how exactly would they be able to help each other? It's just like when Jesse Lee had that psychologist on his show and he had a mental illness.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's hard for someone to help if they haven't gotten over their issue themselves.
Oh, you're referring to Jordan B. Peterson.
Yeah, yes, Jordan B. Peterson.
Yeah.
Oh no, he had a guest on who was specifically on for Jesse.
Oh.
So he was pretty much, it was crazy. He was talking about how Obama was a better president than Trump, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, and revisionist history will show that he was, and whatever.
You're right.
So
yeah.
but
He's had multiple
guess they're
psychologists, and they're all crazy. Yeah.
they are. But I would say more a parallel example would be like, you know, a bunch of like single women who've never been married, who have a bunch of children, like looking toward each other on marriage advice. It's like none of you guys have ever been married, so what's really the point of looking toward each other for support?
Yeah.
You know. But another thing I wanted to say is that Derek is not really an incel because, you know, the definition of incel, it would imply there's no autonomy toward whether or not you are going to be with a woman. So if he ascends, then I'm pretty sure that his brethren will find an issue with it because he actually has standards for his women.
Right.
He doesn't want like a, you know, slut or anything. He wants like, he prefers to have someone who is a virgin and to get married, and like he's actually building himself up to meet standards that he'd expect from his woman. So I wouldn't say that he's exactly an incel because you voluntarily are celibate, like at least in his case.
Yeah, that's true. He doesn't even believe in sex before marriage, which he says that the incels on the whole don't, but I don't know. Because I've came across some information on their websites that he said that they're not pro-pornography. And I was like, what? There's porn links on the website on their incels.co. So, yeah. But you're right.
I don't know enough, but, you know, that as far as what I was introduced to on the show,
yeah,
it doesn't seem like he fits the definition of being an incel, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, he's a conservative in a liberal town. He calls himself a location cell.
Location cell.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, because definitely if he goes somewhere like Minnesota or something, I don't think he would have a problem, you know, hooking up or whatever, but I know that's not his goal.
Right. He doesn't want a hookup. He does want a real regular marriage. And I think he has a mistaken idea of what love is, because he says we all want love. And that is a mistake that not just the incels make. That's what Hollywood pushes is, oh, this is love. This is what you should be pursuing.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I want to know that he's like doing all the self-improvement for himself, not just in the hopes of finding a lady, like,
yeah.
Because you're going to lose your motivation as soon as you find one.
Right. You know? True. Yeah,
But
that was one of the things that I wish I had thought of. And maybe Jesse covered it. I don't remember if I finished. It was a long Fallen State interview, and I got to at least 45 minutes in, but it might have been a 90-minute interview. And it was interesting, but I had to go, and so I kind of left it and didn't come back to it. But Jesse always tells people, don't be looking for a woman or a man. Seek first the kingdom of God, and then he will add it to you. But they are, a lot of these guys are whites and Asians, and those guys fall into this trap of looking to their intellect to solve their problems. They're looking at statistics and think it's hopeless, like Dylon.
Right. Like, what I've noticed is that, of course, he comes off as, if he is actually an incel, which I don't believe he is, he comes off as one of those nice guys. And the thing about nice guys is that they take a transactional approach to a relationship. They feel like if I do this many nice things for you, that you will date me, or you will consider having intercourse with me. That's what it seems like with nice guys.
That's true.
But that's just like what I had seen from him, because he's like, no matter how nice I am, I try to talk to women, but they just don't. They're just not interested. Like, I mean, that's not what it's about. Like, you know.
Yeah, niceness is manipulative. It's true, and people don't trust it in reality.
Yeah, like when you go to a store and they punch the little card, like you can, like, there's 10 more times you have to go before you get like a free product or something, so you have to bring your punch card.
Yeah.
That's how they treat like on a Rick and Morty episode. But that's all I really have to say.
Appreciate
it's nice talking to you again.
Yeah,
and,
nice talking with you.
Know, all right, you take care.
All right, you as well. Hot computer smell. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let me. Oh, Chris out of Arizona dropped off. Let me quickly get to Al out of Detroit. Al, how are you?
Hey, James, how are you, sir?
Doing fine, thank you.
So everybody should go to YouTube and search on Sprite, the drink from Coca-Cola, and Pride.
Oh,
They
no.
have a new Gillette-style commercial where they're promoting the homosexual transvestite agenda. And in the ad, they show various sodomites preparing for a gay pride parade, and as their family members, including a grandma and a mother and a dad, help them get ready into their sodomite costumes and go off to the parade. And at the end, a dad looks lovingly at his boy walking away hand in hand with another boy in their little shorts. And my question is, how does this help them sell their sugary soda drink?
Yeah.
They're obviously promoting and trying to normalize
That's a good question.
something that is not normal.
Right.
And what do they have to gain from this? And I hope that this causes them to go downhill like Gillette did.
You know what?
Because there's an obvious agenda. Who are these companies? Who's running these companies? Is it Satanists? What's going on here?
That's a good question, man. I know that a lot of the so-called LGBTQIA plus people have they have. Don't say that on this show, man. It's a family show. It's not that you're wrong.
I don't know that it's a negative thing. Okay,
right, it's true. It is true. It's a negative thing, but come on.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, these people have been infiltrating so-called PR groups. What is it called? Human resources departments, and they've been lobbying. They've been starting these ADL-style defamatory organizations that supposedly pretend to protect the homosexuals from defamation, when in reality they just defame the normal, decent people who know that they're wrong.
Right.
And so I liken it to the drug cartels and gangs down in Mexico making these farmers who own avocado farms pay insurance so that nothing happens to them.
Protection money.
Yeah. And so, yeah, exactly. Protection money. It's a racket. They're not, it's not a selling point. It's just a shield of protection. Hey, we like you guys. Don't bother us. I think that's kind of what it is.
I think it's more sinister than that.
It is definitely, okay, that's maybe what the people in a business sense are doing. But in reality, and what these guys are doing, they're promoting an agenda to make kids...
the abnormal normal.
Make kids accept abnormal as normal. Because kids naturally know that it's abnormal. Kids are so honest and will cut you to the core and not even trying to be mean. They'll just be like, you're ugly. Or what is that? Weird. Or whatever. Or you're fat.
Say that to me all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Mommy, that man's scaring me.
Right.
What? I'm just sitting here, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're brutally honest, and they're more innocent and honest than even the Christians, unfortunately. So they've wiped out the Christians. Now they just have to wipe out the people that have common sense.
You know, to me, it's a sign. It's a sign that we're about to collapse.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Just
utter
read the
weakness.
Bible, Sodom
Utter
and
weakness
Gomorrah.
caving to utter weakness. Yeah.
We're at the end.
No, man, it's not all is not lost. We can still stand up. You just don't be dismayed by the evil in the world, you know?
I hope that this costs them dearly, like it cost Gillette. I hope people boycott
Yeah.
their unhealthy products, and they're selling it as Sprite instead of Coca-Cola. So if they get hurt, it'll only hurt the Sprite brand, not the whole Coca-Cola brand. But
Right.
everyone should boycott all Coca-Cola products over
Yep.
this.
Yeah. Problem is, like, everywhere you look, all these companies are supporting this madness.
Well, they say that this ad was originally made for the Argentinian market.
Wow.
And it's apparently that they're really pushing it down there.
I thought the
Quite a bit.
Nazis fled to Argentina. I thought the Nazis weren't supporting this stuff.
Yeah. But anyway, a couple of the sodomites looked a little bit like Nick. I just thought I'd throw that.
Poor man. Poor Nick. That's worse than me
right.
comparing him to Elliot Roger. Thank you, Al. Appreciate
All
the
right,
tips, man.
Bye.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Nick says savage. Let me quickly get to Chris out of Arizona. She got back through. Chris, thanks for calling back.
Hi, James.
Hey.
Well, are you still on subject? You're
Oh, yeah, go for it.
the
Incels?
guy you interviewed yesterday, Brendio, EEE?
Correct.
Yeah, I never heard of Incel until you had that interview.
Yeah,
He's actually a really handsome, smart guy,
I know.
but
He's-
he comes off a little snide.
Yeah, I noticed
Yeah.
that too. I think he's trying to hide it. I think he's trying to be nice and professional, but he can't hide it. And yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's just smart and knows it, and that's a big turnoff.
Yeah. That's a good
I mean, that might be a pretty, negative thing, but
yeah.
he really is a handsome. His hair is, dark and curly.
Yep.
Yeah, he's handsome.
I know. And his face is symmetrical, which is supposed to be
Yeah.
a sign of like attractiveness. So he is fat, like Joel says. But he's lost a lot. I think he can lose more.
Fat. I wouldn't call him fat. I would call him chubby. From what I saw, he looks a little bit chubby. But
that's even worse.
Is it really?
Yeah, because
Okay.
chubby is for cuteness or kids or women, and if a man is chubby, that's just a shame. But you're right, because he does look a little bit boyish still. He's young. He's 22, and so yeah, it is. You're right. He is chubby, but he's working on it. Hopefully, he keeps on at it. One thing I didn't like about yesterday was it was like we were all trying to solve his problem when that's not even really his problem. The problem is his mind and a preoccupation with getting a woman, and he wants to get a woman in the right way. I'm not saying that he's trying to just fornicate or something.
Yeah, I think he is being authentic, and whatever word I'm trying to find. But yeah, I believe him, and if I were a friend of his, I would love to be friends, right? Because he's, I mean, in general, he seems like an authentic person.
Yeah. Even though his niceness is not genuine, and he is nice, which is a plague that's affecting a lot of whites and a lot of men, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you. That's good feedback. I hope that he hears it and takes heed and considers it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to mention is a while back, I don't know if you want to talk about it today or not, but a while back you did an episode how you had night terrors. Have you ever overcome night terrors?
I don't know if I've overcome them, but I haven't had them in a while. Yeah. And night terrors aren't what I called it, but people call it that when you wake up screaming.
Yeah.
I did it so bad that I lost my voice once or twice. It was crazy. But
I've never lost my voice because my husband was always there grabbing me and saying, okay, wake up, you're okay, wake up, you're okay.
Yeah.
But I have woken up screaming like that. And the last time it happened was about 2 years ago. I had another episode, but 2 years ago. And so how come I'm along the lines of it being a battle against good and evil?
Yeah.
And that it might be, I have no idea if what I saw was real or not. I really don't. But I went to this old restaurant in Mesilla, New Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
And in Mesilla, Billy the Kid was arrested there and escaped. And he actually was at the restaurant that I ate in, and it's considered haunted. It's called the Double Eagle.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, you can go there, and the waitress is happy to ask any questions that pertain to it used to be an old home owned by a couple of rich people, and each room you can choose where you want to dine. And one of the rooms where the woman killed her son is considered haunted, and they say how they've seen all these crazy things happen. Well, I went to the carriage room just to look around. There's old paintings everywhere, beautiful bars. I mean, just opulence, right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at this painting of a little girl, and somebody comes to me, and I'm like, wow, she's really cute. She goes, yeah, that was painted after she died.
Wow.
And apparently she was hit by a carriage. And the lady left, and I was looking at the painting, and it was supposed to be an accident, but but Jesse does say, disregard every thought, don't believe the thoughts. But I was looking at the painting, and the thought popped into my head. She was actually, I kind of thought she was murdered, that it wasn't an accident. She was only 4 years old. Well, that night when I got back to the hotel room, I fell asleep, nighttime, and I had a night terror.
Huh.
And I don't know if it was because I went someplace that was haunted or if the stories had anything to do with it, but what I saw was just really, really horrible.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely encourage you not to get too into this stuff or speculate or
right.
Or put too much meaning into it, because we really don't know.
Yeah.
It is kind of,
right.
I get the appeal and the fascination with it. I like that movie, The Shining, which about the hotel.
It's been a long time since I've seen that one, because when I started having the night terrors, I stopped watching all horror movies.
That's probably smart. Why put that in your mind, right?
And around here, there's a lot of ghost towns, and there's lots of haunted places. I never seek them out.
Nice.
Never.
Yeah,
I
people
don't look into it.
Crazy.
I mean, I know of a place that's haunted, and knowing that it's haunted, I'll go there if somebody invites me there for dinner or something, the hotel in Bisbee.
Yeah.
Or, there's different places that are considered haunted. I don't seek them out. No.
Yeah. Super interesting, Chris. Thank you for the stories. Very interesting. I appreciate that. And I may talk about this stuff a little bit more another day.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, James.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Take care.
Have a good weekend.
You as well. Bye.
Bye.
So, hold on, Zach. I'm going to get to you and Bobby, Ryan, everybody. Let me see if I want to get to this stuff. No, you know what? Oh, you know what? One thing I did with Brendio, I did notice he seemed to be visibly reacting to the questions. I call this normie questions, right? Or tiresome feedback. And it did seem like some of it was a little tiresome to him. He was being nice about it, but I wish that I had given him the opportunity to react to my prior statements about him, because I've talked about him after he was on Jesse's show, and give him a chance to say, how are you feeling hearing all these normie questions, or hearing all these questions? Because he was reacting, and I wanted to ask him about that. But I didn't. I forgot. One thing, too, Hot Computer Smell, I think, mentioned, is they have this thing they call incels, right? It's like putting a name on it, a name to it. And Jesse Lee Peterson, I think he has wisdom in telling people not to put a name to your situation in life or how you're feeling. Like depression, don't call yourself depressed, for example, because that's putting a word on it and then you identify with it, even if you don't think that it's an identity. I think even though these incels know that it's a position in life and not an identity, intellectually they know it, but in their hearts, by naming it, they are identifying with it, I think. And that is kind of trapping them a little bit. And it's making their lives revolve around women, or at least this whole mindset revolve around women, which is a bad thing for a man to do, right? Let me quickly show this, and then I'll get back to you guys. I don't want to talk about the groypers and stuff with you guys. Show the pictures of the porn stuff. It's not pornography, but it's... Look, I looked up their website, incels.co, right? Forums, and then they have tabs, right? Forums, members, rules, black pill, wiki, meaning Wikipedia, media, and porn, dude. It is like this, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Seventh tab. What the? And then, so, and I like the logo, it's funny. It's like a male with his hands in his pockets looking down on the ground, walking, kicking the dirt around. All sad, depressed. And then I scroll down to the bottom of the page, and there's a square ad, one ad at the bottom of the page. I think this is a rotating ad. It's not this ad all the time, but it has another like pornography ad. So I was like, what the? Because the reason I bring this up is because this boy, I call him boy, this young man claimed that most incels are not for this stuff, and I censored it, right? I censored it. It's basically like a male figure for the men's room type of figure, but sitting down in a chair, doing something inappropriate that the powers that be want little kids to learn to do, according to the story that Nick and Jesse covered. And a woman doing the same thing is gross. It says, blank off with random teams, view cams. That was one of the advertisements that they allow on their website. What a shame. So I don't know if these incels are so principled that this man seems to portray. Maybe he's a Christian and doesn't support pornography, but that website sure does. Anyways. And yeah, that porn dude thing, it actually seemed to be porn. Unless, I mean, I didn't go look at it. But it seemed to be. So, mess. So, I think he was providing me a sanitized version of the incels. Anyways, let me get to some of these callers. Zach, out of Oklahoma. I think, Zach. What's up, Zach?
Yep. How you doing?
Fine. How are you?
Good. Well, can't say good, can we?
Right.
Right, according to Jesse.
Yep.
I was calling about voting, but if you'd rather talk about the incels, we can.
No. What do you want to say about Biden? Joe Biden.
Voting. No, voting.
Bouting?
B-O-T-E. But my accent's a little thick. Can you not understand me?
No, I can understand you. Go for it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm originally from Tennessee, so I've got a real thick accent.
Nice.
But anyway. So
voting.
I think, yeah, sometimes we worry too much about the D.C. level of voting when really we should be worrying about our state level stuff, our city councils and our
very good point.
Our county, because that's what directly impacts our daily lives.
Yep.
You know, D.C. is not, they're not that, they affect some stuff, but they're really supposed to only deal with foreign affairs, but they get involved in way more than what they should.
Yep.
But all in the, but yeah, I think sometimes we forget to look to our city councils and what they're doing and our county commissioners and, our judges, our local judges and all that we can vote for directly that impact our daily living.
Very true, man. And your children the school boards and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you're so right.
And I know DC's somewhat important, but
Yep.
really in the grand scheme of things, what affects our daily living is what's right around us.
And that's how a lot of politicians start out, is the local. So if you get a decent person starting out local and he sticks to his principles and has a good character both in his public and private life, then he could become a powerful person going up the chain to the national level if that's what we need, which we do need. But you're right. Jesse Lee Peterson encourages guys to get involved in local politics, and because we need good men in there. And we get so excited about like conservative seeming people, but they're so paper weak, they're just easily blown over so often.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wish there was more of a way that we could find, we can find out all we want to find out about the people going to the Senate and all that. But
Yeah.
when it comes down to your local people, it's kind of hard to find out because these newspapers and news stations and stuff, they don't cover your little people.
Right. That's why they should
So
do
you
like
don't really know what your sheriff stands for or any of that when he's running for office. You just got to take him at his word that he says he's conservative or
right.
liberal or whatever he claims to be.
He should do. That's why local politicians should do town hall forums and stuff, and face the heat. And then you can kind of scrutinize how they react and things, because it's not just what they say; it's how they deal with pressure. And if you put pressure on them, don't give softball interviews and stuff like that. Don't give softball questions and stuff like that. You can see how they react, and if they're trustworthy, you can kind of get a feel for people. Say that again?
See if you can get them mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. So
good input, Zach. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I just thought about it because I know y'all talk a lot on a national level.
Right.
And we've been listening to y'all for a few months now, and we like your show.
Nice.
So I think what y'all are doing is important.
Yeah.
Trying to get the men to become men again.
Yep.
So, because we've all slacked away from that because we've been told you can't.
Yeah.
Can't be a man.
It's a bad brainwashing.
You must be ashamed of being a man.
Yeah. Thank you again, Zach. Take care, man.
All right, thank you.
By the way,
Y'all
do you
have a good
watch
one.
Church with Jesse Lee Peterson?
Yes.
Nice.
We watched it, and I was hoping a couple of weeks ago that he would answer the question because I called into his show and talked with him about what he had thought. And he didn't answer it. He's like, no, I'm not going to answer that question at church.
Right. Yeah, he said Yeah, he did say that. He said, I want you guys to, I don't want to answer the questions all the time for you guys. I want you guys to think and know for yourselves, because if you follow me, then you're not discovering for yourself, and that's not his mission. He doesn't want to be a leader where people just take what he says and, oh, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and too many people do that. They blindly follow their pastors, and that's where they get twisted up and think that they're going to get raptured away or whatever else they believe that's not written in the Bible.
Right.
Or, that's given to us through the Word. But,
yeah.
But we follow all of y'all's stuff.
Nice.
So, and then I need to get your link. I've got something I think you'd be interested in, to where I can send you, but I don't want to give a shout out to nobody else's nothing.
Okay.
For your show.
All right.
But so what is your email? Well, I can email you something.
James@jesseleepeterson.com is the one that I've had forever. And then I also have, say you want to send me something, the HakeReport@gmail.com is another good one.
Okay. And I can send you links there.
Yep. Yeah, either one.
Okay.
Or both.
All right.
All right, Zach.
Well, I appreciate talking to you. And y'all have a wonderful day, and tell all you callers to have, all your listeners, blessed day.
Okay. Thanks again, man.
All right. Thanks, sir.
All right. Bobby out of Nashville, Tennessee. Bobby, what's up, man?
Hey, Hake.
Hey.
I wanted to ask you, what is up with all these fragile black people with their hair, man? Like, you
Yeah.
have 4 or 5 calls of grown-ass men crying about hair. I don't know if you have any idea where that's coming from.
You know, insecurity, I would say. You know, these guys talked about how when Jesse bashes the black women who have afros, that it's Jesse's internalized racism that he's learned from the minstrel shows and stuff like that, making black people to look silly. But
And they're getting these
they're
words
the
from
ones who are
somewhere,
insecure,
you know?
not Jesse.
Absolutely, yeah. It's basic projection. You know,
Yeah.
they're not the ones coming up with these terms, and they're just
Yeah.
hearing what they put on TV, and they're just so wound up over everything, man. Like they think literally. On Twitter, I'm looking at, you know, the guy at Popeyes who like body slammed that old lady, and
Yeah.
we're like, oh well, she said the N-word, and it's like, well,
Exactly.
you
So
think
what?
if you say the N-word, you get killed. Like, what is wrong with you?
Exactly, man. It is insane. The world is so backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. People, it's like you can't even, and also there's this political correctness that's insane, where you're not allowed to criticize people based on their looks, especially women, right? And that's basically pandering and encouraging them to be insecure. Like women tend to be a little bit more insecure than men most of the time.
Yeah.
Although there's a lot of insecure males nowadays. But you're only enabling that insecurity, then that's not the best thing for them when you shield them from criticism about their looks or even making fun of looks. And it's so ridiculous. They act like Trump is so wrong for making fun of, look at that face, he allegedly said about Carly Fiorina. And so it's silly. It's a weakness that has invaded even grown men's minds, like you said, grown blank men.
Yeah, I mean these guys are just going crazy over it.
Yeah.
Hey, I was wondering. I was on hold listening to all the incel stuff. Can I make a quick comment about that also?
Go for it.
You know, that kid who's on there with that website, like I'm sure a lot of these incels are just kind of like they become that way and they're innocent. But I really think that kid on the show, I think he knows what he's doing. And basically, he's part of these people who they create this incel identity.
Yeah.
And then people self-identify as incel.
Yep.
And then they start feeding these kids lies. You know, like they say, well, you're an incel now, therefore you must hate women. You're an incel now, and therefore you must watch porn. And that kid knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. And he's leading people. I don't know if you know what Christ himself said about leading children astray, but he is doing that. He is doing the most evil work imaginable, which is leading kids down a dark path, a destructive path.
I think effectively that is what he's doing. You make a really good point, man. You put it in like such serious terms, but it is kind of right. It is a serious term.
It is very,
man.
very serious.
And you know what? I think that he's doing it, going on these our show and this liberal channel that's kind of exploiting him, but he's exploiting them too. He's doing it because he wants to get out there. He wants to get known, and he wants to represent them because he feels they're not represented right, which is true. But yet, you make a really good point. I think it is a selfish ego thing. They don't need to be identifying themselves as this in the first place. Yes, they're being falsely smeared by the media, but they need to get out of it. He claims that they support them ascending, right? No longer being incels. But they should not even be calling themselves that. And
Then
he's
why would
only
he push
encouraging
porn on
them. Yeah, he didn't start this website. Just to clarify, he did not start that website. He just promotes it. But does he not know that it says porn dude and it has, there was another time when I reloaded the site and it didn't have the pornography ad at the bottom. It had like Cialis and Viagra ad on the bottom of the site. But yeah, porn dude right there up at the top. And he's claiming that they don't support pornography.
He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. I wish that you'd been able to get through because that is a serious statement. And he should. I'd love to hear his reaction to that. He should definitely
Thanks so
check
much
himself.
for taking my call.
Yeah, thank you, man. Take care.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. You know what? Let me get to these callers. Skip yelled at me, and I think rightly so, about some of these stories. Because maybe I can just cover it in the midst of talking with you guys. Because there's so many callers, and I want to get to you guys. So, to be fair, Ryan, out of Florida. What's up, man?
Hey, Hake, how are you?
Fine. What's up?
I just had a quick comment about the Groypers.
Yes.
I guess, flare-up you had with them.
Yeah.
I've never really followed Nick Fuentes before, and when I did, he's 20, 21, whatever, and I always had assumed that most of his followers were that age or younger, but I was surprised to hear when y'all asked them how old they were, they would say, 30, 32, and they were not trying to judge him, but they were lashing out and acting childishly.
Yeah.
When y'all had that disagreement with them, and it surprised me that they were, they're older than me, and they're behaving that way. And if I agree with a lot of, what they're trying to do, but
me too.
They got to go about it the right way, and they can't behave like that, or no one will take them seriously.
Yeah, exactly, man. Jesse Lee Peterson was giving them constructive criticism. And it may have been based on he forgot that it was a Q&A, maybe, I don't know. Or maybe he really is seeing something in them that is like prideful and overly pushy. And it's if he's wrong, fine, cut him some slack. Like, okay, you're wrong, but don't get mad about it. But they're getting mad. They're making crazy accusations against him. They're calling him a Zionist shill. They're accusing him of siding with TPUSA, which he never did. They're accusing him of trying to distance himself from Nick, which he's not. He says he likes Nick and he likes what he's doing as far as the denouncing homosexuality and immigration. I know that they don't like our relationship with Israel, which Jesse supports Israel, but that doesn't mean he's a Zionist shill. Most boomers and most Christians today do support Israel. They may not support everything that's going on. Maybe they don't know everything. Maybe you know something they don't. I'm talking to the people that are opposing Israel. Maybe you know something we don't, but don't be accusing us of stuff that's not even true. That's not going to help. Just say what they're doing wrong. Just be patient, but they have no patience. They're immature, like you can cut them some slack, but you make a good point. Some of these guys are in their 30s, and it's funny because they're taking it more seriously than Nick is. Nick is taking it in stride. He's like, oh, maybe Jesse forgot his interview, which is the case. It is the case. And then these other guys are getting disappointed. Some of them are unfollowing. It's funny. It reminds me of sometimes Jesse criticizes me and I think he's totally wrong, but then I overreact. And so his so-called ignorance is exposing something wrong in me and in these guys and in many others that is important to get out in the open. Same thing happens when Jesse criticizes blacks. Oh, he's being paid by the whites. When he criticizes the whites, oh, he's being paid by the Jews.
Yeah.
So ridiculous.
And honestly, the first thing I thought of is, well, Jesse's 70, he's old and black. He's not don't flip out about it.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
And Jesse's really not that interested. He's just saying if they're imposing, they shouldn't be doing that. He didn't even say necessarily that they were imposing. Maybe in some cases they were. But it's funny. It is interesting.
All right, man. That's all I had. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Take care.
All right. Later.
All right. I had another call about the Groypers that I wanted to get to, but he dropped off just now. So, Adam out of Massachusetts is calling back from, I think, earlier this week. Adam, how are you?
Doing all right.
What's up?
Yeah, you said you wanted me to call you back. I was talking about the machine spirit.
Yeah. So you had called and told me like you've worked in these kind of industrial places, I think, and sometimes the machines are not working. And you grew up not Christian, and you got involved in this thing this game that is kind of, I don't know what it is. It's like, it reminds me of like Dungeons and Dragons. But
Yeah, well, it's like a fictional universe that takes place in the year 40,000.
yeah, and so they have these things called machine spirits. And so if a machine is not working, like at least one time, you prayed to the machines, and then later it started to work.
Yeah, it actually happened to me multiple times.
That's
I first started off doing it just kind of like a inside joke with myself. I'd be like, praise be to the machine spirit.
Oh my gosh.
It would just start working again.
Hey man, I think that I don't know what's up with that, but I wouldn't get into starting to believe something that may or may not be true. I would say that
I understand that.
I would say that sometimes it just takes some calming down, because when you're frustrated around a machine, and I know some guys who just have bad luck around computers. Like when they get around the computer, it just stops working for them. And then when somebody who knows the computer,
they don't have a good relationship with the machine spirit.
yeah, exactly. But it's interesting.
What I was trying to get at with my call is that like I said, I grew up. My parents weren't really religious or anything. They were both hippies.
All right.
But I found Catholicism later in life, because all of my ancestors and great grandparents were both deeply religious, and I looked at it from the standpoint like people who don't like religion in the modern age, they'll say it's stupid and it's superstition. But I refuse to believe that all my ancestors were idiots. And I believe that they...
That's common.
They found through their lives the truth of it, just like Jesse talks about a lot. And I don't know, I feel like maybe it's some sort of spirit that had awoken during the industrial age, but, I don't want to get into paganism and all that. A lot
of whites are getting into paganism, especially the ones that identify with their whiteness. Are you into the white thing at all?
The what?
The white thing, your whiteness.
The whiteness, yes.
You are?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Commander Rockwell.
Commander Rockwell. Explain who he is for those of us who don't know.
He was a World War II fighter pilot who fought in the Pacific. And then after the war, he got into nationalist politics, you could say.
Nationalist politics, yeah. Okay. As in, like, white ethno-nationalist?
Kind
of?
He spoke on that, but it was very common back then for people to speak about the subject.
Yeah, it's a shame that...
what he was all about. He was an American nationalist.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, it's a shame that the political correctness has stifled people's freedom to speak, and things have become taboo that are like, should not be taboo. Or even if they're wrong, allow them to be wrong, and don't be I almost said freaking, which I just did. I said, don't be judging people over their opinions. It's like people have a right to it.
It's crazy how demonized you will be these days for simply stating that you don't think that all the people are the same.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
It's not that you hate people, but you can objectively look at the entire world. Is the
did you
scientific study of anthropology evil? Because anthropology is specifically just saying that there's differences between people.
Yeah. Hey, did you say the guy's Commander Rockwell's first name?
George.
Okay.
George Lincoln Rockwell.
George Lincoln Rockwell. Okay. Appreciate that, man. Interesting. So you got kind of, are you into the Catholic thing, or are you into the pagan thing? You seem like you're more into the pagan thing now.
No. I'm big into Catholicism.
Okay.
I consider myself a sedevacantist Catholic.
A what? A what? Catholic?
Sedevacantist. It's Latin for empty seat.
Oh, meaning no pope. Does that mean no
yeah,
pope?
basically after Vatican II Council, Vatican II Council is heresy.
They discredited themselves. Interesting.
And I believe the last legitimate pope was Pope Pius XII.
And yet you believe in praying to machine spirits?
No, I don't
Not
believe
anymore?
in it. It's just I find that like I've dabbled with it in my work.
Yikes. Doesn't sound right.
It's spooky, but
well, when you say dabbled, it doesn't sound right. Because I'm not saying it doesn't sound right sexually or anything at all like that. I'm saying it doesn't sound right because people dabble in Satanism and stuff like that. Or the occult.
I have training in, electrical and mechanical,
right.
Maintenance.
That's good.
But sometimes when we get to a dead end and we're trying to figure it out, sometimes I'll just, as a meme, an inside joke to myself, I'll just like put my hand on a control panel and just, say something in the machine spirit.
All right.
And once in a while, it'll just start working.
Cool, man. Well, nice. I appreciate that, Adam. Very interesting life. Call again.
Well, the truth is stranger than fiction because fiction has to make sense.
Good point, man. All right, Adam, take care.
You too.
By the way, do you watch Church with Jesse Lee Peterson?
I don't watch the church. I watch his Monday through Friday episodes.
Okay. Check out Church when you get a chance. It's really good services. I think that you'll like it.
I bet he's a very talented individual.
Yeah. All right, Adam. Take care, man. Have a good weekend.
You as well.
All right.
All right, bye.
Let me quickly get to Marie. Is it Marie out of Ohio?
It's Mari Ubaldo.
Mari
You can call me
Ubaldo.
Mary. You always get it right sometimes.
Nice. Nice to hear from you. Nice to hear your voice. I don't know if I've heard your voice before.
No, you haven't. It's my first time calling.
Cool. Appreciate it. It's an honor.
I just want to thank you for your complimenting me on supporting you guys.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that you are a faithful supporter of my show, of Bond, of Jesse Lee Peterson, and I appreciate that. That's cool.
Yeah, you guys are welcome, and I'm going to keep doing it until you guys get you guys' building. I'll be praying for you guys.
Thank you, Mari. Thank you.
It's Mari.
Mari. I know. I know it's Mari, but this boy spelled it Marie, and I know it's Mari. Mari.
Yeah, it's
I knew
it's Mari.
Yep.
Everybody calls me a lot of names. They call me Maria, Marie, Mari,
Right.
Mary. Yeah, all that.
I had a teammate named Mari Cruz. That was her. She went by Mari Cruz.
If it's more easy for you, just say Mary.
No, okay. I appreciate that.
And then I just want to wish you guys a happy Thanksgiving and everything else.
Oh, yeah. It's coming up. It's a week from yesterday. Cool. You as well, Mari, from Ohio.
Thank you. I will be supporting you guys again this weekend, and I'm going to keep supporting you guys.
Right
you guys
on.
Do a good job.
I'll see you on the Hake Report Sunday and at Church with Jesse Lee Peterson in the chat.
Yes, sir.
All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Robert, first-time caller out of California. Been holding a while. Robert, what's up?
Yo, what's up, man? I'm going through it, man, right now, dude.
I see. Let the people know what you're going through, but not too personal.
Yeah, no, man, I'm just going to lace it out, dude. I met this girl when I was like 17, 18. Been with her for so many years, hella years. In the Bay, we say hella years.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've been with her for so many years, man. Been together. She used to always beg me to marry her, beg me to have kids with her. I was like, oh, no, I really didn't want to be with her, man. But she just, wouldn't let me not be with her.
Wow.
So
Beta.
Been with her for hella years. And then maybe about 4 years ago, I finally married her. We have kids. I got a a son who's 10. I got 2 girls, a 5 and a 6-year-old.
Wow.
You know, and finally marry her. And, last year she kicked me out of the house, and I was sleeping in my car down the street to prove I was being a beta male pretty much.
Yeah.
Being a beta male to the fullest, man.
You almost said the other word.
Being a stay-at-home dad for so many years, all that stuff, dude. And then, dude, this year I'm working at a really popular restaurant over here in the Bay Area. It's in a mall. And she pops up, dude, with a restraining order. She's acting crazy. My boss is, like, telling her to leave, trying to kick her out. She brings the mall security. She must have fabricated and told them some crazy story.
Yeah.
And they come, and my boss is like, dude, this is a place of business. You guys got to go. He was, like, pretty much standing up for me. He's
nice.
He's an alpha male. Yeah. And even the security guards knew, like, oh, dude, something's wrong with her, dude. Like, even they started backing up. So finally my boss is like, I got, like, just, like, quadruple sat, you know, or triple sat or whatever, you know. They just start sitting me all these tables. I come back from break. My boss is like, dude, your wife is out here. I kicked her out a bunch of times.
Wow.
Can you just go talk to her? So I go outside, and she's right there and serves me the papers, man. And I thought that was against the law. So I had my boss write me a letter, went to the court. I was like, oh, I got my boss's letter. She served me. This is not going to happen. The boss honored her restraining order. And then now she filed full custody for the kids. And I just found out that she's not a citizen in the United States. She's from Honduras.
What?
I got duped, man. Dude, I called ICE, man. I called everybody, man. No one can help me, dude. I was like, I'm obviously at my last straw if I'm calling you guys, bro.
Wow. You got to call Jesse for counseling. I mean, we can't give you legal counseling.
For sure. No, I don't even want all that. I just wanted someone to hear me, bro. Like, for real, dude. I'm going through it out here, dude. I'm walking the streets. I'm still working 2 jobs. I teach special needs. I work in a restaurant, and they won't even let me see my kids. The things she's saying in court, that I've been raping her for the last 15 years and saying crazy stuff in court, man. And now I can't even see my kids. I'm paying all this child support. I'm taking 2 classes. Anger management and parent counseling. She fabricated some story, man.
Yeah.
I just want to be with my kids. She's not from this country. She played me. That's what it really is, and no one wants to hear me. The judge is like, I was like, all I want to ask is, Your Honor, when can I see they won't even let me ask, when can I see my kids?
Wow.
They're just like, no, we want to hear from you. You're a man. This is San Francisco, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
What can I do, man?
That explains it.
Yeah, Nancy Pelosi, I feel, is like her spirit's in the halls of the court or something like that.
The same with Gavin Newsom.
Man.
He used to be the mayor, right? Wasn't he the mayor of San Francisco?
I don't even know anymore. I know that one dude did, but he dropped dead.
Oh, jeez. Was that hard?
I need help, dude. Dude, my wife is playing me, guys.
Yeah.
What do I do? Like, I need prayer or something, man. Like,
yeah, just pray, because there's nothing you can do. You can't see your kids. You can't.
That's what God told me. God told me to stop fighting. He said, you know what? It's okay. Just stay strong. Just zip your lip. Don't even say nothing in court. Let her divorce you. Let her do all this. But she's not even going to divorce me.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who told you that. If that was God who told you that, but. Have you heard of Jesse's silent prayer?
Oh yeah, do it every day.
Okay, cool.
Do it every day.
Have you called Bond for counseling? You may need it. I don't know.
Nah, bro. I might be talking crazy. That's just how I talk, man.
Bond does offer private one-on-one counseling. You can do it over the phone, or you can set up for Skype.
If I need counseling, if I need counseling or anger management, it's only because they took my kids from me.
I know.
Now
it's turning.
Yes. Now I'm an angry guy because I don't have my children. But I used to do stand-up comedy, dude. I play music. I'm a musician, bro. Like,
well, Robert, I gotta go, but definitely call. Definitely call if you want.
Hey, I'm gonna start watching your show, man. I'm a full follower of Jesse Lee Peterson, but
right
I'm gonna start checking you out. Right on, homie. Thank you.
Do you know the Bond office?
I don't even know what that is, man.
That's Jesse Lee Peterson's nonprofit. He offers private counseling one-on-one.
Yeah.
So you can call and set it up for maybe next week or something, or the following.
Oh my God.
So 800. It's 800-411-BOND. 800-411-BOND 2663.
800-411-BOND. Hey, watch, y'all say my number too. I know one of y'all gonna call me back because this is like this got to be on the news, man. I called everybody. I called the news.
All right, Robert, I gotta go, man.
Take care.
Take care.
Right on, homie. Right on, Rick.
All right.
On, homie. Right on.
KT and all the rest of you guys, I'm sorry I can't get to you, but call back on Sunday and we'll talk about some of this stuff, and I'll tell you the background of the 14 words. Ooh, if you don't already know. It's interesting. So I'm live Sunday on my channels, thehakereport.com, and Jesse Lee Peterson's jlptalk.com, and of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson, rebuildingtheman.com/church. Subscribe to Bond Rebuilding the Man on YouTube. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care.